What do you do with them? Where do you put them? That medal, where will it go?
It's in the museum. Yeah. I have a house only for the medals.
When you play at big clubs, you need to have a personality, and this guy has it in abundance. You know, the first goal I thought Forster should have saved. I'd have to say that, although it was a good free kick. But nevertheless, it's on target, and he makes the goalkeeper have to do something, and he didn't do it. But the guy has got so much personality. If you look at those shots after the game, every player was around him and smothering him with adoration. And this guy, you know, I saw when they went in front, he got the guys together as a group, and it was having a little chat with them, and this was the situation. I just think the guy's got so much personality, and when Jose brought him in, Jose never buys potential, Rob, or brings in potential. Jose brings in proven. And this guy is probably the most proven footballer in world football. He's won everywhere he's been.
He's 35, and the talk of next year, and who knows how long. Technically, what makes him so good?
Well, obviously his ability on the ball, but also he's got the physical attributes as well. You know, 6'4", 6'5", so he's always going to be a handful anyway. But when someone's that sort of size and they technically, you know, can manipulate the ball the way that he does, you know, you've got a player on your hands. You've got a problem as a defender to deal with. And, you know, for me, like Ray's just said, his character, you know, I don't think Man United, they've had some top centre-forwards over the years, but I don't think they've had a character like him since Cantona. Since Cantona, you know, the way he's walked in that dressing room with his chest out and said, "Don't worry, boys, I'll lead you to wherever we got to go." And that's the type of character he is.
Absolutely.
You can't coach what he does, can you? Because he seems to be for 6'5", or if you're modern, 1.96 m. He's tall.
But he's 6'5".
But he's agile, he's flexible. He seems to be able to get his body shape into places where you shouldn't be able to get to in order to finish goals.
He's played his football, Rob, in the best clubs in the world. Therefore, you know, this guy hasn't only been with Jose, he's been with the top coaches in world football and the top clubs in world football. So he obviously has an amazing ability to keep himself fit. You know, when you watch Zlatan play, Zlatan plays when the ball is in his area. You know, he's not like a Wayne Rooney who sacrifices himself all over the pitch. He plays when it's in his area, and when it's in his area, he's very, very effective at what he does. And, you know, yesterday, again, you can't get near him. When he receives the ball, he just brings other players into the game so comfortably. But the important thing when you play with big clubs also, Rob, is the mental strength. This guy is so mentally tough that no one can beat him. He knows that, and he feels that when he goes on the pitch.
How important is it as well, to go back to his character that you both mentioned, is, I mean, you were at Chelsea when they started signing huge world-class players. How important is it that a player, even he's coming into Old Trafford, didn't come in and just give it the big I am? What you hear is he stays behind at training with the younger kids and helps them. He's very much bought into it. How key is that, not just for Jose Mourinho, but for the whole club?
I think the biggest point with that is you get the admiration of your peers through being like that, because, you know, similar when Gianfranco Zola came to Chelsea, you know, he mucked in as one of the boys straight away. You're not fooled by that. You know he's a top player. But when someone's, you know, able to be one of the lads, be amongst them, help the young boys as well, show as an example that, you know, your work ethic, not just on a match day, but obviously in training as well. They're big things to add as a factor to him, and because of that, you'll get the admiration of the young players. They want to be like you, and, you know, that's what he's brought to that football club without a doubt.
As a coach and a manager, which you were, how important is that? How much of a godsend is that he's not strutting out of training early, throwing his toys out the pram? He seems to be fully committed to everything that's going on.
You actually can't buy it, Rob. You can't put a price on what a player like him will give to a dressing room. You know, I was fortunate to work at Chelsea when the likes of John Terry, Frank Lampard, Coles, the Drogbas, my word, the dressing room was theirs, and they run the dressing room, and he'll be doing exactly the same. The one thing I'd have to say about that cup final yesterday was how Wayne Rooney reacted as well. Never took part in the game, but the joy that he showed that Man U had won yet another trophy. Now, that's Zlatan's 19th trophy around the world that he won yesterday. Phenomenal, phenomenal. And most of them have been league championships.
So let's talk about the winning moment then from Zlatan. We've got a certain colleague here at Sky Sports who talks about big games, big players.
Yeah.
They don't come much bigger than Zlatan. But in terms of the Saints defending, was he given a little bit of a helping hand?
He was, but you talk about his influence on an actual Man United team. He actually headed it at the start out of his own box. He stands in the near post, and United were absolutely awful. I think when you're a manager and you join a new club, you need one person in that dressing room that sings out your hymn sheet, and I think Zlatan is that leader. I know Rooney lifted the cup, but I think Zlatan is the leader on the pitch.
You would play obviously with a great Eric Cantona. Would you put him up there yet?
Yeah. Well, Cantona, when he walked on the pitch with his collars up, you thought, I love Old Trafford. He had the aura, he had the confidence. He's the same. You see his interviews after the game. Sometimes you hate people that have that much arrogance. I actually love that arrogance because he actually delivers at the same time as well.
I mean, this was Zlatan's final. He absolutely, no question, has been carrying this team, and this final, he carried them the whole way. I mean, 2 goals. He made a clearance at 2-2 that maybe, had he not, they might have lost the game. This was all about Zlatan. He's been absolutely superb. I was one of those that said he couldn't do it this year in the Premier League, and obviously in the Cups as well. I was wrong, and he's been absolutely fantastic.
It seems strange that maybe the newspapers in the UK are picking up as this is his defining moment in England, leading United to the League Cup, because let's face it, the League Cup isn't nowhere near as significant as the League or the FA Cup, but it's his performances week in, week out, which, as Stevie says, has silenced his critics.
I'll put it to you this way. If the highlight for Manchester United is winning the League Cup for this season, then they've had a failed season. A season where they haven't met their objectives. Because the League Cup is really third-tier competition when it comes to importance level. Was it a good performance for Zlatan Ibrahimovic? Of course it was. And it has been throughout the course of the season. So this is no different than what he has done throughout the season. Early on in this match, key play. Gabbiadini, not an offside goal. I don't know how that gets called offside. And that changes the way the game is played. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, still an outstanding final.
You know, I'll disagree with Ali. I see this is defining for Zlatan Ibrahimovic in terms of what he's done in Manchester United. Now, this is not a good Manchester United team by any stretch of imagination. But at the same time, it's silverware, and I think it's a huge step in the right direction, as opposed to us.
A huge step?
It's for Manchester United, absolutely.
Who won the FA Cup last year?
I don't know. Ooh.
Shaq.
No, my point is this. I think
Manchester United won the FA Cup last year.
Realistically,
people were talking about this as if it's some sort of defining moment for United. Look at them going forward now. They won the FA Cup last year.
Can I say that Kenny Dalglish lost his job after winning the League Cup? He lost his job after winning.
My point is this. This is a Manchester United team that without question, continues to improve. And without question, Zlatan Ibrahimovic is ahead of that improvement. Never mind the money spent elsewhere, Zlatan Ibrahimovic has led this team in a way that nobody has, bar maybe David De Gea over the last couple of seasons. And it's good to be talking about a standout Manchester United star that is not their goalkeeper. I think that is the step, that is how Zlatan Ibrahimovic's legacy will be told at United.
How does it, what does it say about people who just said when we were talking about Zlatan over the last couple of years, it's Ligue 1. Anyone can score in Ligue 1. And then he comes here and just steamrolls, carries the biggest team in England.
Well, Zlatan Ibrahimovic's talents is not limited to Ligue 1 or to Serie A or La Liga or the Premier League. He's a special talent, has been a special talent, and continues to be a special talent. He sees things on the field because not only the goal scoring, it's the movement, it's the ability to give it the pause to the game, or maybe play the through ball, or maybe link up, or the hold-up play. All the things that he does in the final third have a purpose. Zlatan Ibrahimovic has been a tremendous player for so many years now. It is not a surprise, at least in my eyes, that he's able to score as long as he stays within the confines of the 18-yard box, because he is a dominant player inside the 18-yard box. And he has done that this year much better than he did at PSG, where he started to sort of drag himself into positions where he was going to play make. In Manchester United, he has been more of the guy that, you know what, I can score the big goals. I'm a big body. No better picture than that than the third goal today.
Manchester United then win the first piece of silverware available in England.